So willpower is the ability to stay in control of yourself. Willpower is a very important part of your everyday life, not just marriage, but everyday life. Okay. However, there are problems with it that you kind of need to be aware of. You need to consider them, especially within the context of changing your behaviors and rebuilding your marriage. All right. Willpower, um, typically it's highest in the morning when you wake up, when you're all fresh, and it is lowest at night. Okay, when you have a good night's sleep, or even any type of sleep. Okay, for that matter, as long as you had some sleep, your willpower will get rebooted. It'll get refreshed, replenished, re-energized, filled back up again. Okay, as you go through your day making decisions and encountering situations at work, problems to be solved at home or with friends or colleagues or your kids, your willpower will slowly start to dwindle down. Okay. By nighttime, in most cases, you are totally exhausted, and there's not much left of it as it relates to your willpower. Okay. Now, what this tells you about your willpower is that it's finite. It runs out unless replenished. Okay. Now, there's different ways of replenishing it. Obviously, one we talked about is sleep. Okay. Another one that has a direct correlation is confidence. Willpower has a direct correlation with your confidence as well as your emotional stability. So the higher your confidence, the higher your willpower bucket, if you will. Let's call it a bucket, your willpower bucket, right? It's kind of like the bigger your confidence, the bigger the bucket, which is holding your willpower, so you can fill it up more. And the longer, obviously, that it takes for it to kind of run out. So most husbands are trying to alter their behaviors using willpower. Okay, but even when you have kind of mastered the ability to replenish your willpower, whether because you become really good at sleeping, you meditate, you increase your confidence, new behaviors, they don't tend to stick around long enough when it's done through willpower, because there's something happening along the way, for sure, that can kind of crush your willpower and have you fall back into the old behaviors. So using sheer willpower to alter your behaviors is not the best approach. Okay, willpower will be needed. It is important in the process. However, relying solely on willpower, it will not change your behaviors long term.
Yeah, it's not going to change them long term. And the other important part of that as well is just to highlight to men that their willpower is tested differently depending on the scenario, right? So a man who's trying to lose weight, for example, it may not take a whole lot of willpower for him to resist eating that chocolate bar. But how much willpower is it going to take for him to control himself when his bullets are firing and his wife is just telling him, she regrets marrying him? So the amount of willpower needed to control yourself, is dependent on the situation, and how you react to the situation is dependent on a number of factors, such as how triggered you are in that situation. So as I said, I'm just highlighting that because the degree that your willpower is eroded, it's not like for like, right? So different situations, you will respond to them differently. And for you to control yourself in those situations, if you're relying on willpower, it's going to take varying degrees of willpower to do it.